Hey guys, it's Drea. So today I have my Bought It, Forgot It update, and I will link to my playlist below if you have never seen this before. Basically what I do is I go through my stash and I think, have I used this? Number one, at all, or in a very long time. Like if it's something I've even forgotten, if I liked it, how it worked, I'm gonna pull it into my Bought It, Forgot It, because this is all about reviews for you guys. So in this video, you're gonna get about like 9 little mini reviews on products I've been using for the last 6 weeks, testing out, and then I'll show you at the end of the video what I'm gonna be using in the next 6 weeks. Let's start with something I really liked a lot, and I'm wearing this today. This is the Hourglass Vanish Foundation. It's a stick foundation. And it's a cream product, right? So it just rolls up, you kind of draw it all over your face, and then you blend it out all over your face. So my shade is the shade Shell. This isn't really the kind of product that is geared towards oily skin like I have. When it was a lot hotter in September and October, I wasn't really using it a lot. And now that the weather has definitely cooled down, I'm definitely liking it a lot more. So this product I think would be more geared towards combo to drier skin. But if you have oily skin and you're cool with using it up kind of just in the winter months, I think you'd be totally fine with that. It is pretty full coverage, and yet the thing I like about it the most, I think, is that it leaves kind of a skin-like demi-matte look, and that's what I'm all about lately. Like, I really like the natural skin look, but I still want it to look a little bit matte. Like, I like my skin to look real but matte. I don't know if that makes sense. Ever since I did my matte versus highlight video, I've really been like gravitating towards matte products. I just feel like it makes me look a little bit younger. But anyway, this is what I'm wearing right now. I really like it. I just swipe it on, like I said, and I blend it out with a brush, and I feel like that really is the best way to use it, with a brush, not a beauty blender. A beauty blender kind of works, but it's a little bit more difficult, and of course it takes away coverage if you do that. So a brush is always the way to go, and I feel like it really did like it really does blend well, and there's no streaky marks left behind. The only time I ever had an issue with it is when I used it over Benefit Professional, and then it got a little bit weird over some areas on my nose. But other than that, it worked well with all the different primers that I tried it with and all the different powders. This has really been the year of discovering BH Cosmetics eyeshadows for me. I don't know if you guys remember, but I love the foil eyeshadow palette I have. And this one is the matte one. So this is the Modern Mattes 28 color eyeshadow palette. As you can see, you have a range of very neutral and very colorful eyeshadows here. I really love these eyeshadows. So I've heard that their palettes, like these 28 color palettes, can be hit and miss. The 28 color foil eyeshadows are incredible. Like, those stand up against any high-end eyeshadows that I've ever tried. And the mattes I feel like are really great as well. Like, I'll do swatches overlaid so you can see, but the pigmentation is so there for these. They're very smooth, they're very silky, they go on so easily, they blend like a dream. Like, every good thing I could say about an eyeshadow is in this palette. And I feel like it's a really versatile palette too, because you have so many neutral colors here in the bottom 2 rows and even up into the top, and then you do have pops of color if that's what you really want. And sometimes it is hard to find matte colorful eyeshadows and palettes. Like, a lot of time the really pops of color are going to be a satin or even like a glitter. So it's kind of fun to have just a basic matte palette like this. And I bought mine in Winners. It was only 15 bucks. I know you can get it off their website for like even cheaper than that. It's also a really great versatile multitasking palette. I use it in my full face under 20. I used it for my eyeshadow, I used it for my brows, and I even used it for my contour. And you know what? It looked amazing. So it's one of those palettes that if you are on a budget, it's such a good lifesaver. So I wanted to front load the things I loved. Now we're getting kind of into the matte area. This Essence Instant Matte Makeup Setting Spray. So first of all, it's about half gone. Like, it's hard to tell, but I feel like it's probably down to here. I use this a lot. Like, I'm intending to use it up just to get it out of my collection. I don't feel though like it really keeps me matte. It definitely doesn't keep me matte all day, and I don't even feel like it really has that long-lasting property that a makeup setting spray usually has, which is why you're putting it on your face most of the time. I just feel like it's okay, and sometimes I'm not even sure if it's really doing anything. So I won't repurchase this. I don't really fully recommend it. I think if you're looking for a mattifying setting spray from the drugstore, you'd be better off spending a few extra dollars and getting the L'Oreal one, which is just like the Urban Decay All Nighter. Next thing that's kind of meh for me is this. This is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in the shade Warm Neutral. So this is what I'm wearing today on my eyes. I like that you have kind of a go-to if you just want a warm neutral eye. That's what they're advertising. It's a warm neutral eyeshadow palette. It's not going to give you a ton of versatility. There's a range of shades in here, like there are satins and mattes. There's no real like intense metallic or foil finishes. It's just either satin or matte. And I do feel like you can create a pretty eye look. Like I like this look that I have going on right now. This is not ultra pigmented. It's kind of that kind of eyeshadow that you definitely need to build up, and then it really only even builds up to a certain point. Like even in my outer V today, I was really trying to go for a little bit more intensity, and even though I use these two shades here that are pretty deep in my outer V, I still feel like there's not all that much intensity happening. So I would say it's buildable to a point, but when you have a shadow that's lacking in pigmentation like this and you try to build it up, sometimes what happens is you get that muddied looking eye. And I feel like this does have a tendency to get a little bit muddy looking. Like I feel like this is not my best work, and it was a little bit of a struggle to keep going back and forth with different brushes and back and forth trying to blend it out. So I don't see myself reaching for this very often. It's good quality, but then again, NYX is like one of the more expensive brands at the drugstore. I think this is like $23 Canadian or something like that. I have heard this is a dupe palette for the Naked Heat. There are some pictures floating around the internet that make it look like it could be a really good dupe. I don't own the Naked Heat, so I don't know about the quality or the actual eyeshadows themselves, but check that out if you're interested in that one. This one, I'm not like gonna say it's terrible, but I wouldn't repurchase it if I could do things over again. This is the Tattoo Junkie Velvet Lip Paint and Effects in the shade Rebel. So what you get is a liquid lipstick and a little loose pigment. Basically it's just like an eyeshadow. It's intended to be an effect for the liquid lipstick, but it's just a loose pigment. You could do this with any liquid lipstick and loose pigment, or even pressed pigment or pressed eyeshadow that you have on hand. This is kind of packaged in a way that is gimmicky to get your attention, but you could absolutely do this with things you have in your collection, and you can experiment with different colors and different finishes, and it would be a really, really cool thing to do. Now, I didn't want to wear this today because I just don't like it. This is a very deep color. It's kind of similar to what I'm wearing, kind of. It goes on darker than what it looks like in the tube, and I will again swatch it for you guys in an overlay. But the thing of it is, when you just wear it like this by itself, which you would sometimes want to, right? You would want the versatility of that if you buy a product like this. It's so patchy. Like it's really, really patchy when you actually just wear it by itself. So I wouldn't do that. And that leaves only the possibility of wearing it with this metallic effect. And for me, it just comes down to personal preference. I don't really like the way it looked on me. Some people might love it. Once you get this on, it is pretty transfer proof. Like this is transfer proof by itself. Once you put this on, it's almost transfer proof. Like if you rub it, this pigment will come off. But for the most part, if you're gonna just go through your day, it's pretty much gonna stay on, which is nice. I know there's so many of you out there that love this, and I've tried it so many times. And that's why I put it in this project, because I wanted to really give it a good shot. But I have to tell you, for me, this is a no-go. It's not gonna work, ever. This is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. Mine is in the shade 910. So again, I know there's so many oily skin people that love this foundation. For me, it doesn't work. When I put this on, I've tried it with Beauty Blender, brush, you know, every which way from Sunday. And what it does every time is it really settles into any pores I have, especially up around this area. I don't know what it is about these pores up here, but if a foundation is gonna settle into my pores, it's gonna be up here. I don't know why. And what it happens is it ends up looking like really dry patches. It ends up looking like it's clinging on, and then you get those little dots where it's settling into pores. So this is just a no-go, guys. I'm so sorry. But again, if it works for you, keep working it. Like, it's a good, affordable product. It just doesn't work on me. Also, the very last thing that I have to talk to you about that is definitely a fail is from Stellar Cosmetics, which is a brand that came to Sephora this year but hasn't really like made much of an impact on YouTube anyway. This is the Stellar Cosmic Face Powder in the shade Haze. So this isn't a full size. I got like 2 different gifts with purchase. I still haven't opened this one because using this, I'm not going to. I'll pass this on to somebody. So this is just like your standard kind of translucent face powder. It has a little, tiniest little bit of a hue of pinky purple to it, but it's so almost unnoticeable. I think the intention is that you would put it under your eyes and it would help with brightening or something like that. It definitely has a smooth feel to it, not as smooth as some other products that I've felt. And again, I feel like it grabs onto certain areas, like even on my hand I can see it grabbing onto a little bit of dry skin. But ultimately, under my eyes is where I tried this out, and man, my eyes, they look terrible. They look like dry, gummy, where it kind of like clings onto the concealer in a weird way. Definitely didn't help with any creasing issues, like the creasing I think may have even been more intense with this because it kind of settled into the creases under my eyes. So definitely won't be purchasing a full size of this. I don't personally recommend this at all, and these will eventually make their way out of my collection when I do a declutter. Now for my favorite part of these videos, because it's all about, you know, great hopes and great expectations, and nothing has let me down yet from what I'm about to show you because I haven't tried most of it. So this is the box I'm about to use for the Christmas season. I just bought this box. It was in my Christmas decor haul. I think it's so cute. I got it from Winners. Anyway, this is all the stuff that I will be using. So this is pretty full this time actually. There's a couple reasons for that. I've got some big bulky things, but also there's a few things where I'm trying multiples. So let's start with this. These are my Wet n Wild blushes. So I've got 4 of them. Now, obviously 2 different types. These are the ombre blushes, and then these are just your regular color icon blushes. I bought these and then I really didn't use them at all. I think I might have used one of these once and one of these once, and that was it. I did use this one right here, which is called Pearlescent Pink, in a video recently. I can't remember which one it was now, but it doesn't matter. I liked it. I thought it was super pigmented and I had to be careful with it, but it just kind of spurred me on to remember, yeah, I haven't really used my Wet n Wild blushes, so I should get on that. So I will definitely be doing that this month. This is from Tarte. This is the Ready Set Radiant Skin Mist. I have used this, but I haven't used it a ton because I'm trying to use up other ones. As you can see, it has a really nice mister on it. It smells like cucumber. It's got that really nice fresh scent. So I'm excited to try that one out. I pulled in 2 foundations. Now that it's winter, like I said before, I have, you guys know, I have an extensive foundation collection. A lot of matte ones, a lot of like in between, and a few that are kind of hydrating. And I can only use the hydrating ones in the winter months. So that's what I've pulled in for this go round. So this one is the Clinique Moisture Surge CC Cream Hydrating Color Corrector. It has SPF 30 in it. I remember liking it, and I also remember not liking it, and I think it depended on when I was using it. So I want to have like a definitive answer. And then this one, I actually did do an all-day wear test on this one when I first bought it, and it was in the winter months. This is the Clarins Extra Firming Foundation, and it has SPF 15, but really it's that firmingness that is the reason I bought this. I had never tried a Clarins foundation before buying this. I'm excited to kind of dip my toes back into foundations that I forget about. This is an interesting product. I bought this a few months ago, and I think it's just the colors I didn't really want to use in the summertime, but these are kind of colors I love. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Paints, and this is in 310 Army Camo. So what you have here is like cream eyeshadows on either side. One a little bit lighter and one a little bit darker. And I remember Emily Noel like reviewing this entire line, which is why I decided to even give them a chance to begin with. So as you can see, like they're really nice colors. I think they'll be really good in the coming months. Next thing is kind of something I've never done in a Bought It Forgot It. I'm going to compare 2 things. This is the Benefit Erase Paste. This is the original Erase Paste in number 2. This is what I'm actually wearing as my color corrector under my concealer today. It's a really good color corrector. It's a pretty intense cream. It's pretty emollient. Sometimes it can be a bit much, a bit heavy, which is why I kind of like other color correctors better, but it is still a good product. What they've done is they've revamped this whole line and they've called it now Boing. So I have all 4, but I do believe this is the one that's supposed to be Erase Paste. If it's not, I'll change it up, but I'm pretty sure it is. This is the Benefit Boing Brightening Concealer. That's what that looks like. So I want to see, is this the same product? Does it work the same? Is it even the same shade? Like, what's the deal? Just a simple highlighter, but I did try this as eyeshadow. This is the Revolution, Makeup Revolution. They have the word revolution huge, but They don't say Makeup Revolution. Why? Anyway, it's the Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick Radiant. And you know, it's supposed to be like the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks. When you swatch it, it's pretty nice. It's pretty intense. I think you could see there. But I haven't really used it as an actual highlighter. I've only used it as eyeshadow, like I said. Next product, Beauty Bakery Lip Whip. I bought this quite a long time ago. Only really used it once, like in a video, and I didn't really even like test it out throughout the day. It's a really nice color. It dries a little bit darker than that when it's fully dried down, but it's super expensive. It is an indie brand. I just want to let you guys know if it's worth the money, because you know, indie brands, they kind of have to charge a little bit more because they don't manufacture things on a large scale, so you know, they have their costs they have to cover. So we'll see if it's actually worth it. And then the last thing is this. This is the Tarteist Pro Glow palette from Tarte. So this was, I bought this during one of those weekly wows from Sephora when they do things half price. That's what it looks like there. There's a mirror on either side, but it can flip behind. And what you have is 4 just plain powder highlighters, 1 cream contour, and then 1 powder contour. And really the only thing I've used out of here is the powder contour. I did like it, and I haven't really used anything else. But I've been loving cream contouring lately. Like even today I'm wearing the Hoola cream contour, and I never wanted to do that because I thought it wouldn't work on oily skin, but you know what, turns out it does. So I've been enjoying it. That's it for my Bought It Forgot It. If you've never seen this type of video, if you've never played along before, it is a really good way to rediscover things. I know this month I feel like the stuff I reviewed was not my most favorite, but I have found some holy grail things by doing this. It's a really good way just to kind of pull things out, either rediscover it, or the other good thing is you can just say, you know what, I hate this product and I don't want to look at it anymore. I'm going to pass it on. And then you don't feel guilty for having too much in your collection. It's okay to try new things, and if they don't work, pass them along. If you've never watched one of my videos before, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, so definitely subscribe down below. I put up new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you are speaking kindly to yourself, like especially when you look at yourself in the mirror. It's really important. I struggle with it, which is why I say it to you at the end of every one of my videos. So I hope that you really are loving yourself. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.